You might be able to retire today. Let's see how. Have you ever wondered if retirement could be closer than you think? For many of us, retirement feels like something decades away, something to worry about later. But what if I told you that it's possible you could retire sooner than you ever imagined? Perhaps, even today. In this video, we're going to take an exciting journey together to explore if early retirement is within your reach. You don't need an advanced degree in finance or a data-packed spreadsheet to understand retirement planning. Instead, we're stripping it all down into simple, clear steps that even a beginner can follow. By the end of this video, you'll have fresh ideas, practical tips, and most importantly, a new sense of optimism about your future. Let's dive right in and explore the possibility of your retirement sooner than you thought possible. When you think of retirement, what comes to mind? For a lot of us, it might look like a house by the beach, lounging all day, or traveling the world. And while those dreams are fantastic, let's take a step back and ask, what really defines retirement? It's not necessarily about quitting work forever. In today's world, retirement is more about financial freedom, having the ability to choose how you spend your time. That might mean pursuing your passion, working part-time at something you love, or simply relaxing with fewer financial restrictions. Retirement is much more flexible than it used to be. Long gone are the days where you had to wait until 65. People are finding ways to retire on their own terms, sometimes years, or even decades earlier, by redefining the concept to fit their life. So, if full financial freedom feels impossible, remember, it's not about the size of your bank account, it's about the way you use what you already have. This is the foundation of everything we'll talk about today. Let's move forward. The first step in determining if you can retire today, or sometime soon, is to examine your current financial situation. Don't worry, this doesn't have to be complicated or intimidating. Start by asking yourself these simple questions. How much money do I have saved? What are my current sources of income? Do I owe money on any debts? Taking this snapshot of your finances is the starting point for every big decision ahead. There are many tools out there, like budgeting apps or retirement calculators, but you don't have to dive into those just yet. Even a notepad and some honest reflection will work. The key is to determine your net worth, the total value of everything you own after subtracting what you owe. This number acts like your financial thermometer, giving you a sense of where you stand today. If your number doesn't look like what you'd hoped, don't get discouraged. Understanding where you are now is the first step toward building the retirement you dream of. Now, let's shift gears. Imagine for a moment what retirement would look like if you could start today. Picture it vividly. Would you spend more time with family? Maybe you'd focus on hobbies or passion projects? Or perhaps you'd like to travel or move somewhere new. It's time to take that vision and translate it into numbers. In other words, what would it actually cost to live that life? Take into account the basics: housing, food, insurance, along with the extras like hobbies, travel, or small luxuries. Many people are surprised to learn that their dream lifestyle isn't as expensive as they thought. For instance, you might decide to downsize to a smaller home, cut unnecessary subscriptions, or simplify your day-to-day expenses. The idea isn't to create a budget just yet. It's to gain clarity. Knowing what your ideal retirement might cost helps you determine how close, or far, you are to making it a reality. One of the most important lessons we can learn about retirement today is this: it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Let's say you don't have enough savings to completely stop working right now. That doesn't mean retirement is out of reach. Instead, consider flexible options. For example, work part-time. If you can shift to a less demanding role or work fewer hours, your retirement begins with more free time. Pursue passion projects. Many retirees start businesses, sell crafts, or freelance in areas they're passionate about. Build semi-retirement. Think of this as a hybrid model, working enough to cover essentials but having more flexibility to enjoy life. Retirement looks different for everyone, and the key is focusing on what gives you a sense of freedom and purpose. It's not about waiting for someday. You might be closer to this lifestyle than you realize. Curious about how to boost your retirement potential? Even small adjustments to your income can make a huge difference. One idea is to create passive income streams, money that comes in even while you're not actively working. Think of things like renting out a property or even an extra room in your home, creating content like ebooks or tutorials that continues to earn revenue over time, investing in dividend stocks that provide recurring payouts. You don't need to dive deep into complex strategies, but learning about passive income opportunities is worth exploring. You can also consider smaller active income streams that align with your interests. Maybe you've always wanted to sell artwork, teach a skill, or start a small business. These side hustles can go a long way in funding your initial retirement years. Now we're going to focus on one of the simplest ways to move closer to retirement: spending smarter. Ask yourself, where is my money going each month, and which parts of that spending actually bring me joy or value? Here are a few ways to save without drastically lowering your quality of life. Downsize smartly. If your current home feels too big or expensive, consider moving to a smaller place or a more affordable area. Simplify subscriptions. Cut back on memberships, services, or apps that you rarely use. Shop strategically. Look for cost-effective options in areas like groceries, utilities, and insurance. These small changes can add up, especially if you reinvest those savings into your retirement fund or emergency savings. The goal here isn't to feel deprived, but to ensure your spending aligns with your long-term happiness. At this point, you've explored your finances, envisioned your future, considered alternative income, and identified ways to save. So, how do you determine if retirement is really possible today? One way is to use user-friendly retirement calculators available online. These tools can help you estimate how long your savings will last based on your lifestyle and income needs. Let's say you dream of living on $3,000 per month. With $500,000 in savings and a small part-time income, some calculators might show you're already ready to semi-retire. The numbers won't be perfect, but they'll clarify how close you are to financial freedom and what adjustments might still be needed. Here's where the magic happens. Retirement isn't just about money, it's about how you approach life. It's time for a mindset shift. Rather than thinking of retirement as a finish line, start seeing it as a lifestyle of choices you can begin building today. Yes, you might still work part-time, but if that work funds freedom, then you're already retired in many ways. The small steps you take each day, saving, spending smarter, growing passive income, are all part of your journey toward financial independence. Don't be discouraged by what you don't have yet. Celebrate what you can achieve, starting now. Now, it's time for action. Start by taking one small step, right now. It could be as simple as writing down your financial snapshot, imagining your dream retirement, or testing out a retirement calculator online. Every action brings you closer to understanding how achievable retirement really is. And remember this: retirement isn't just for someday. It's about gaining freedom, one step at a time. So what are you waiting for? Let's find out. Maybe you can retire today.